What would you say or do if your child at age 8 had a stroke, or at age 20 had a heart attack, or at age 30 had to get renal dialysis due to kidney failure? Most parents on that note would do anything in their power in order to prevent these problems. You might ask yourself, how could this happen? They are too young. But for some families and children, this is a harsh reality of what happens to them every single day. There is a growing epidemic of the 21st century, which is known as obesity. I would like to discuss today where all this started, the health effects, and why it's so hard for these kids to stop once they are already obese. You might ask yourself, why does this matter? In the olden days, it was kind of presumed if you were overweight or obese, you didn't work out enough, and you should eat less, and you were lazy. But for some people, that's genetically impossible. According to the CDC, it stated that 1 in 3 adults are obese, and 1 in 6 out of the children are obese. What do you do when an 8-year-old already has diabetes? Doctors don't know the long-term health effects of insulin and things such as oral hypoglycemics. In World War I, soldiers were underweight, and the reason why that was is because they were malnourished. So the government decided to add in more calories to meals. Little did they know it would start an epidemic. In the 70s, it started the fitness revolution. People were running and going to the gym and really starting to care about their weight. But with fitness memberships doubling, so did weight. So, are all the calories the same? No, they are not. And the reason why is because how the body absorbs them. Diets that are low in fiber means that they absorb faster. Therefore, there's no extra material for the places to go for the excess sugars. They're just stored as fat. Compared to diets that are high in fiber, it absorbs very slowly. Therefore, the body can't store all that fat and all that sugar. It gets burned off too quickly. So, what are some of the metabolic diseases that are associated with obesity? We have here diabetes, which patients are going to have to start taking insulin. We also have heart disease and risk of cancers. We also have stroke. There's also hypertension, high cholesterol, and gastrointestinal issues. According to John K. Stevens, MD of Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, he stated that, "I am very fearful that in the next 10 to 20 years, we will have an explosion of type 2 diabetes and coronary artery diseases as these very young, very obese kids become 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds, Stephen tells WebMD. The problem isn't heart disease epidemic, it's a child obesity epidemic. Not only are these health effects, there's also emotional effects that go into it. These kids don't have the confidence to go to schools. They are more at risk for depression, anxiety, sleep apnea, and social awkwardness. Why can't these kids who have these issues prevent and control these problems? Food is always around. No matter where you look, it's always there. Think about a huge city like New York. There are vendors on the side of the road selling food, convenience stands and gas stations that always have delicious snacks right at the checkout counter. They don't promote organic vegetables and fruits in these types of areas, and there are always fast food restaurants around selling delicious food. So imagine people wanting to lose weight. The temptation is there. They don't have the issues to solve it. It's like having an alcoholic with all their favorite alcoholic beverages around. If the temptation is there, most likely they won't stop. In school lunches, instead of making everything fresh in schools, now they are government-owned food manufacturers that provide little to no nutritional value being served to our children. Most school lunches rely heavily on high-energy, low-nutrition value food because it's cheaper, said Dr. Kim A. Eagle, director of University of Michigan's Cardiovascular Center. Sugar is a huge factor in our diet, and it's in every product we consume. American Academy of Family Physicians, a group of 20 doctors, resigned out of their position due to the fact that the government knew about the problems and they wouldn't take the Cokes off the shelf. Some doctors still didn't agree, but why is that? That's because most of the research is funded by people like Coca-Cola. Dr. David Allison, PhD, Nutrition Obesity Research Center in Alabama, stated that consumption of all sugar contributes to health problems, but that science doesn't have enough evidence to support that the products do not. This statement is obviously wrong, but we do have evidence. He is just getting funded by $2.5 million to keep the company going. In conclusion, I got most of this information from this documentary known as Fed Up. It really shows the health effects that children are facing. So educate your children and promote a healthy lifestyle. Thank you.